everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, you know that this is the Vegan Health Bundle week, so we are showcasing so many of the wonderful contributors who put amazing products in the bundle, and today's guest is no exception. Her name is Sara Tercero, and she's the founder of Plant-Based Guru, and she's also the author of Plant-Based in 30 Days, and she's going to be making a couple of her amazing recipes from the bundle. Please welcome her to the show. It's very nice to meet you.
Hi, Chef AJ. Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, I'm so excited because I had heard of you from another bundle, and you just had such amazing contributions and such an amazing Instagram channel. So I'm so honored that you took the time to do this. What did you contribute to the bundle?
So I put together my first no oil ebook. It's volume 1, Betterfoodguru No Oil or Oil-free Favorites. And so this is kind of my first foray into the no oil movement. So I'm kind of excited about it.
I'm excited too, because I love it when you have talented chefs and recipe creators that maybe do things one way, and then you give them a challenge or just pose a situation. And instead of saying, well, I don't do that, which you get from a lot of people, you just embrace it. And that's the sign of like a talented chef recipe creator, in my opinion.
Thank you. I agree. I'm all about evolving my craft. You know, I worked in restaurants for 30 years. And so I worked with every kind of food, and going plant-based was like huge for my creativity. It just kind of pushed me into making so many different foods that I just never had thought of combining before. And then going into the no oil is even more exciting and kind of pushes the envelope.
You know, I don't know if you went to like culinary school and if it was a traditional culinary school, but when I used to live in LA, I would sometimes do consultations with restaurants that heard about this no oil concept, maybe from Dr. Esselstyn, especially when Bill Clinton went vegan. It was like a big thing. And they were so resistant to it at first, but then when they understood it, they were like, hey, it's actually doable. When we do it in our soups and salad dressings, we're saving money. So how difficult or easy was it for you to learn no oil?
To be honest with you, it was fairly seamless. I mean, I'm still learning. I mean, we're always students, right? But I didn't go to traditional culinary school. I worked my way up the ladder in kitchens. And so my beginnings were actually working with whole foods. So I started in health food. And so when I went into restaurants and stuff, I was bringing health food knowledge into restaurants with me and making more salads and healthy dishes on the menu of whatever restaurant I was the chef of over the years. And many of them were not, vegetarian restaurants. Many of them did not have a veggie heavy menu until I came in as their chef. And even as an omnivore, I was really veg heavy and veg forward. And so once I wanted to go more no oil, it wasn't really hard because my regular recipes are very low oil anyway. Most of them have a tablespoon of oil for 6 servings, so just cutting that out and putting in another like natural fat or a oil-free fat is really not difficult.
Right, especially because, I mean, if you ask me, like, if I have a choice of eating avocado or just without anything else, or olive oil, to me, the whole food fat actually tastes better than the oil.
Yes, and it's more satisfying.
Yeah, and it's got fiber, it's got nutrients. Tell me, Sara, your plant-based story. When did you start thinking about adopting a plant-based diet, and why? How long has it been, and how's it been for you?
It's a long story, honestly, and it's been kind of convoluted. I did go fully plant-based in 2019. I decided I was going to do 1 year of vegan and see how I felt. I had tried it before and I loved it. And so since then, it's kind of transformed my life in a lot of ways. Not only has it made me feel amazing at my age, I still feel like I'm 30 years old, even though I'm about to turn 50. Initially, I had lost some weight. Unfortunately, that kind of came back last year when I had an injury that kept me off my feet for 8 weeks. But you know, it's really just been amazing for my career. And I've published a cookbook. I published my first cookbook in 2021, which was always one of my dreams. Um, you know, it was really easy for me, to be honest with you. Unlike most people, I had such like an arsenal behind me of um, education, working in Whole Foods in my youth. I also had many years where I was a vegetarian before I really got serious about being a chef. So it's kind of been a long journey for me. One of the things is on social media, I always talk about is that I'm the salad queen. And that's because even as a child, I was eating salads. I would come home from school and I would make myself a salad. You know, a lot of times they would have cheese or meat on them, but it still was a big, voluminous salad, which is very odd for a teen to do. So it's not just like I became a veggie lover overnight. It's kind of been a lifelong love affair.
That's very cool. Have you ever done chopped salads?
I have done some. I actually have a chopped salad in my my ebook.
I
Yeah,
love
but I
it.
haven't tried those chopped salads now that they're putting on sandwiches. Have you seen that viral new trend?
They're putting a chopped salad on a sandwich. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, most of them have meat and cheese and stuff, but I'm thinking I want to try doing one where they basically make a big pile on their cutting board and they just chop it up and chop it up and chop it up and until it's like this big like pile, and then they put a piece of bread over it and pick it up.
Hey,
I bet Melissa could do some really cool stuff
it,
with her hand salads with
you
it.
know, it can't be, you're blowing my mind because that's exactly what I was thinking, rolling it up and, you know, because I feel like with traditional bread or a sandwich, it's going to fall out. But with one of Lissa's wraps or any kind of wrap, you could pick it up. That would be delicious.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
I've seen people do it with bagels too. I mean, it looks like you'd probably take a bite and it would all just smush out. Having a wrap though, that would be
that
amazing.
is amazing. I remember, I mean, it's been a while since I ate oil, but I remember my relatives live in Pittsburgh and they had this restaurant called Piemonte Brothers. And they had, you know, sandwiches. I mean, you can get vegan ones or meat ones, but they had, and on every sandwich was coleslaw and French fries. And it was like the best thing I ever ate, having coleslaw and French fries on a sandwich. So I can't, I mean, imagine a chopped salad sandwich would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be good.
Well, time for you to make one on your Instagram channel.
I know. And maybe I'll use have you seen people making wraps with iceberg lettuce?
Well, I mean, I could imagine how that could be because it's round and it has, you know, it's got like kind of a
Yeah.
curvy
They
thing.
they take like the center out and they use the big leaves and they put all the sandwich business in the middle and then they roll it up like a burrito and then roll it up in like a wax paper or whatever, just like they would at the sandwich shop so it stays together. A friend of mine, Terry Turner, she's not vegan, but she's an amazing chef or home cook, she likes to call herself. Makes those on her channel and they always look so good. I want to try it.
Where do people get their ideas and creativity? It's
It's
amazing.
awesome. It's really awesome.
I love it. I love it. So what dressings are you going to make dressings, I believe, right? Or
Well,
salad?
I'm actually going to make two salads today. That one of them is, I call it the best cucumber salad. It's a fairly basic um, cucumber salad, but it's got a lot of flavor because it's got a lot of fresh herbs in it. It's got the sharpness of red onion, and then the dressing itself is made with vegan yogurt, lemon, a tiny bit of maple syrup, and that it's simple, simple, simple. So I'm in the middle of a kitchen renovation right now. I don't know if I told you this. So the last 3 weeks of my life, I've been making basically easy things and you know, not much else because that's all I can do. And that's the beauty of these recipes is they're really easy. They don't require any cooking. It's basically just chopping and mixing, you know. So I'm gonna move the camera down a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing with the food. You might not be able to see my face anymore. Let's see. How's that? We can see the
Perfect. I can perfectly see the cucumbers. Those look like Persian cucumbers.
They are. I'm a big fan of a Persian cucumber because you don't have to peel them. They taste great as long as you get them organic and you wash them. There's no big deal. And they're so easy to chop because you just kind of put them all together, use the end of your knife to make it straight, and then you can just chop them all at once, which is one of my favorite ways to chop.
I also find they taste a little better because they seem to be less seedy.
You're right. And they release less water, I feel like, too, right?
Less mushy. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of making things that will last like 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator. Being the mother of a family with 3 kids who don't always eat what I eat, I like to make larger batches of things that I can eat for days, because I don't always have time to like be nourishing myself as a mom. And so this is the best way to do it. And so these cucumbers actually don't release tons of water. So they're good for a couple days when they actually get more tasty because they're marinating in that dressing. I'm a big fan of onion as well, especially with something that's gonna marinate like that. But some people are really sensitive about them, so they could either chop them really small or omit them.
Is that bowl is beautiful. Is that a bowl you can chop in?
I've never chopped in the bowl, but I use these bowl. I'm like a wood bowl addict. I use wooden bowls all the time. I just feel like it makes it so much more special. It looks so natural and so like just showcases the food so much better. I've got some cilantro and mint. I'm a huge herbs fan. I feel like it really kicks up the flavor of any dish, and it's really healthy. In my new ebook that is in the bundle, I have a whole section about kicking up the flavor without using oil and sugar. It's like basically an oil-free flavor enhancing guide. And I talk about herbs as well. I just gonna throw those in there. I love this salad because it's kind of cooling. So it's good for summertime, or if you're eating something spicy, it goes really nicely with a curry. Or you can just eat it over a bed of greens. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the recipe, right? Because we want them to get it in the
Get the bundle. But you're showing them how to make it. And you have, yep.
Also in my ebook, I included a page or two about the basic equipment that you need to be able to make these kinds of recipes regularly. Obviously, people who don't use any sugar don't have to use the maple syrup. I just like to lighten up the tanginess a little bit. Same with salt. You can use miso if you like instead. That's something I've just started doing. Myself, I never really thought much about the salt because I have great blood pressure and nobody's ever told me to cut down on my salt. Although I think I'm very low salt in general. My husband's always telling me that the food needs salt when I ask him how dinner is. He'll say, it's really good, but it needs salt.
Couldn't you have just a salt shaker on the table and then he adds?
I know. Well, the thing is, in our house, I don't even think we own a salt shaker. Is that funny? My kids are used to having like one of these like a little bowl with salt and taking a pinch and doing it like a chef. Well, because we don't even have it on the table. So then I just mix it so that it's a mix and a marinate. And that's really quick and easy. And it's a great side, or if you wanted to eat it as a meal, obviously you could add in whatever protein you like. I think white beans or chickpeas or something added in there for protein, and then eat it over a bed of greens would make it even more filling. Easy peasy. That's one recipe, so fast. literally 10 minutes of your life to eat something delicious. I love that about vegan cooking. You know, I nothing is worse than spending hours in the kitchen to eat something that like literally takes you 10 minutes.
I know I don't know how people do that. You know, when I see a recipe with more than say 4 or 7 ingredients, I'm scared away to do it.
I don't mind ingredient list. It's just like when it's things that are like take so long to cook, you know. When I do a recipe that has cooked things in it, I usually time it so that like if I'm roasting some vegetables on a sheet pan, I'm chopping all the other stuff while it's in there. I kind of That's how I write my recipes, so because I know that not everybody knows how to time things. So this second recipe that I have, I'm calling it a filling, no, it's a white bean filling salad. So that's kind of a play on words because it's a filling, meaning you could put it on a sandwich or in a wrap, but it's also really filling because it's got beans, which everybody knows have tons of fiber. It has some nuts and seeds. We've got celery. I'm going to move you back down again. Oh,
Yep.
I just need to go like that. There we go. Tilt it.
Do you ever substitute fennel for celery sometimes in recipes?
I never have, but that's a good idea. I bet that would be delicious in this one, especially because it's kind of a Mediterranean vibe. You know, I recently did a recipe where I used fennel and it was a soup. And I used fennel and tempeh and I called it a sausage soup, even though it didn't have meat, obviously. It tasted like it had sausage because of the fennel and the tempeh. It was really cool. That's a good idea. I don't use fennel enough.
I'm not too picky, but I don't love celery, but I do love fennel. So often I'll just substitute it in a recipe.
I tell you, I don't really love celery either, but it's got such a nice fresh crunch.
Yep.
That's why I put it so small, so you don't get like a bite where it's all that celery flavor. I just like that texture, so I'll definitely try it with fennel. It's a great idea. Of course, I got these cherry tomatoes. It's the only kind of tomato I feel like that tastes good at this time of year.
I
Are the
like them
ones,
too because they're like, I don't know, I just like them because they're kind of like personal size.
yeah, and they're so sweet.
And I love the colored ones. Have you ever had the green or the orange or the yellow?
Yes, I love
I
those.
love the green ones.
Have you tried the sugar bomb?
They're delicious.
Oh my God, they're totally worth the $6.
How long have you been doing Instagram?
I started my Instagram in 2018, I believe.
I don't
So
even know. I didn't realize it was there all the way back then. Wow.
yeah, but I mean, I started it before I was vegan, and so and my whole thing, my concept was at first that I just wanted to teach people how to cook and how to make better choices about their food. It wasn't a vegan account at that point, not until 2019, January 1st. That's when I went vegan. So if you scroll back to the beginning, which would take hours, you'll probably see some salads that have things on them that maybe I should archive.
I don't know. You know, the thing is, Instagram with it has like the word instant in it. And I don't know if people ever really scroll back on Instagram. You think?
I don't think so. I mean, I've done that. I've scrolled back on other people's accounts when I was trying to figure out how to grow on the account, I guess, because I wanted to see the people who were doing really well, if they were always doing really well. I kind of wanted to see their evolution. So I suppose that would be the only reason somebody would do that. So
What
this,
what did you learn? What is the secret?
well, one of the secrets is, oh God, you're gonna get me going. I'm kind of an Instagram nerd, Chef AJ. I really am kind of a nerd and I'm passionate about it. It's so much fun because I had no social media background whatsoever and no food photography background at all, nothing. And I do all of this all by myself. Um, And the whole thing is learning how to do beautiful photos. I really feel like that's what needs to happen to see exponential growth on that platform. The aesthetics are wicked important.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't see major growth in following until I learned that. And I don't think I learned that until 2020, 2021, maybe. And then all of a sudden it was no more pictures, make movies, right? It's all about the videos. So here's my fresh herbs. You know, I already told you I love fresh herbs. We're going with fresh
Do you have a
herbs.
favorite herb? I'd say mine is mint.
I love mint as well, but I think my favorite is cilantro. I love cilantro. I love blending it into dressings. I love it blends so well with just about everything. Some of my most beautiful dressings are cilantro blended with tahini. It just, and with some citrus in there too, it just makes such a delicious and fresh burst of flavor. Here we've got an avocado. This is one of my biggest things that I always talk about on the internet. So people always hack at the avocado pit. It makes me insane. Having a restaurant background, I lose it when I see people with knives in the air doing stuff. You know that you can just pop it right out. I
Yep.
always tell them, and people are like, no, you can. Yes, you can. If you can't pop it out, that thing's not ready. And so this one, I'm just going to scoop it out. I like to use a spoon when I have to keep my hands clean. Otherwise, I would just use my thumb. This one's good.
To test for the ripeness of the avocado, do you squeeze it this way? Because I was told if you squeeze it this way, you can bruise it. So always squeeze it from the top.
Oh, I never went with it either way. I never made the connection that there was a difference. I don't squeeze it hard because I don't think that that's necessary. Here, let me grab another avocado. So I usually hold it like this, so it's up and down, and I just give it a little press, and rather than a full-on squeeze, because if you squeeze it, absolutely your thumb is going to go right through it, and it should just have a little bit of give. Another way to tell is, and this made TikTok really mad, if you pick out the belly button.
It made
If
TikTok mad because that
that
makes it more exposed to be able to get rancid or something.
I guess they were like, don't go around picking the belly button off avocado. I wasn't telling them to go to the store and pick the belly button off all the avocados. That's what they thought. But when you pick that off, if it's green in there, you know it's still going to be beautiful. Like if it's a ripe one that's already soft, because you know how sometimes you cut one open, you think it's going to be beautiful, and it's got like a lot of brown in it or black stripes and stuff because it's already gone past. You'll already know if you pick this off and this in here is like black or brown and there's no green whatsoever left, you know that your guy is past its prime. But I will stick that avocado, now that I've taken the belly button out, I'll stick it in the fridge because that will stop it from keep going. And then when I'm ready to use it again, I'll pull it out for that day. So I got these avocados. It was one avocado that I cut up. For this recipe, I am going to use a little balsamic. Where did my...
Oh, speaking of balsamic, since this is the first time you've been on my show, you get 2 free bottles of California balsamic vinegar in the flavor of your choice.
Ooh, that's exciting. I love balsamic vinegar. I can't wait.
Me too, especially with the reduced, you know?
Yeah. Oh, oh, just went all over my laptop. This new lemon squeezer I got is insane. These are Meyer lemons too, so they're really juicy.
I like them. They're a little bit sweeter.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use a little miso instead of using salt. And that's it on this recipe. Now it's just a toss. So this is that filling, that white bean filling recipe. Since I squeezed the lemon right on top of the avocado should be good for 2 days at least. Especially if I wrap it up tightly. But to be honest with you, this will last me not very long because it tastes so good. This is a 100% new recipe that's only in the book, the ebook.
Do you have salad every day? Once a day, twice a day?
I have salad at least once a day. If it's a great day, I have it 2 times a day. Yeah, there we go.
That looks stunning.
Thank you. It's going to be so good. I can't wait to eat it. In my ebook, I'm encouraging people to either put it in like romaine lettuce leaves, which are nice and crunchy. Another thing that I like to use sometimes are cabbage leaves. I like to use cabbage leaves also for tacos because it's got like that nice crunch and it also really holds things together well. And this one might be perfect also to do one of those lettuce wraps. I really am looking at Melissa's hand salad wraps, and I'm thinking that I might need a dehydrator.
Well, they are delicious. They really are.
I don't have a dehydrator, so that might be something that I need in my new kitchen.
Well, they don't come out so good in the oven, but they do come out if you do them in the dehydrator. So
Awesome.
well, that is amazing. Have you had a chance to check out any of the other offerings in the bundle? Anything catch your eye that you might be interested in making or watching?
I have. First of all, I was like kind of like floored by the sheer amount of offerings that are in there and how many of the resources are actually from doctors, which is like, that kind of makes everything look so much more legit, right? And I'm really excited about Melissa Raw Food Romance's all of her hand salads really get me excited because I'm a salad queen and eating a salad on the go isn't always the most practical thing. So being able to make those really cool raw vegan wraps is really exciting. So I'm really excited to dive into those, and I'm thinking about getting myself a dehydrator for that. I was also checking out Stephanie Spencer's mini course about You're as Old as Your Arteries. I myself am turning 50 this year, and health is one of the most compelling reasons for plant-based diets. For me, I grew up with kind of a legacy of people who had some problems with obesity and heart disease and stuff in my family and cancer. And these are all things that I really don't want to have, especially because I had children at a later age. So I really want to be around when they're older and thriving and see them have families. And so longevity is like my biggest goal and my biggest why, my father unfortunately died when he was too young. He was barely 60 years old, and that's only 10 years from now in my life, and that's not where I want to go. I mean, obviously nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but anything that I can do to prevent an untimely demise, I'm going to do. So that You're only old as old as your arteries looks really interesting to me, and I'm actually going to be doing a live with her on Instagram during the bundle week. So I'm really excited. She reached out.
Fantastic. Yeah, because guys, whatever video you're watching of the bundle, there is a website that's going to tell you all the interactions because we have over 100 contributors. That's why this bundle is worth over $8,000 for only $49. It's ridiculous. It'll only be available 10 days. And if you want to buy it from Sara, just look right below this video. right where more, and that is her unique link, and you can get it from her. That's going to be great. On your Instagram channel, is it mostly like recipes, videos you post, or do you ever like go live with your audience?
Mine is 99% recipe videos, but I do go live with my audience, especially when I do these bundles, right? I love being part of these bundles because it makes so much stuff available to people at such like a small price. And not only is it great to share with them, but I get to look at all this cool stuff and it's so inspiring and helpful. And so usually during those, I go live, or anytime I have anything exciting going on, I'll have lives. Um, with my new kitchen reno that I'm doing right now, this is all new stuff behind me. Everything it's not done yet, but I think I'm going to be doing lives probably once a week once
Nice.
this is all done, because I think it's really fun.
Nice. What's so far your most popular recipe?
Ooh, so probably my winter orzo salad. That is probably my most popular recipe. It's a kale salad. It has little orzo pastas. It has crispy chickpeas. It's a low oil recipe. I think it maybe has like a tablespoon of oil, but for like 5 or 6 servings. But that's probably my most popular. Like it's got millions of views or
That's
whatever. Millions of
amazing. How long did
yeah,
it
it's
take
really
you to,
cool.
because you have over 1 million Instagram followers. Congratulations. How long did it take you to build that size audience?
Well, this is gonna blow your mind right now, because it blows mine every day. So in June of last year, I had 120,000 followers in June. So from June until Christmas, 6 months, I grew from 120 to 1 million.
That's incredible. You should write a book on how to do that.
I think I'm going to write. I think I'm going to make a mini course about it because I mean, I like helping people. I have a lot of people who reach out to me behind the scenes, and I kind of coach.
I'll
Uh,
take it because I don't understand Instagram, quite frankly. And maybe it's because I don't do beautiful photos, but I mean, mine has stayed the same pretty much the whole time.
but you've got a huge Instagram. I mean,
Yeah, do yes,
YouTube
that's true. Yeah,
following.
so I guess maybe YouTube people don't want to go on Instagram, and Instagram people don't want to go on YouTube. Everybody likes where they are.
I think that that's one of the things. I mean, because if you look, so I've got 1.3 million now on Instagram, and I've only got 14,000 on TikTok. So
So
it's like go figure. I mean, yes, Instagram gets my stuff first before my website, before anything really, because it's my most active platform. I'm sure Melissa would tell you the same thing though about the photographs. That is like it's just they're very visual over there.
but I guess maybe I'm not a visual person. I'm more kinesthetic. So what is your family's favorite recipe of what you make?
My family is obsessed with Mexican food. Anything that's a taco, they're really into. And since that's not my big niche, I mean, yes, I do post that kind of stuff and I do have that stuff on my website. Like I have a website, betterfoodguru.com, and that's where like my recipes live. But I'm not posting as much of that stuff, but they love tacos. The kids are obsessed with beans. They would eat beans every day. And beans are accidentally oil free, which is like, I love. It's oil free and vegan, and it just is without, it's not on purpose. So they don't even know. They love to eat corn tortillas with them. We make homemade corn tortillas here. Sometimes we buy them too. Depends on what kind of time we have on our hands, I guess. And that's how I trick them into eating as many veggies as possible too. I throw veggies into the rice because kids like rice and beans. They can't really protest that one. So I'll throw corn in there, chop up some zucchini. Otherwise, they do really like one of my pasta dishes that I've posted quite a few times. It's like a 6 ingredient vegan pasta, and it's got like a coconut milk and roasted pepper sauce. Again, I'm tricking them into eating that stuff.
When you worked at restaurants, what type of restaurants did you work at, and what was your position?
So I mostly worked at fast casual restaurants over the years, although I did do some stints in some fancier restaurants. I did some French and some tapas and things like that. But my favorite is fast casual, where I can make a little bit of everything. And I was the chef. I love to be in charge. I like to lead, and I like to make new recipes and kind of set the tone for the kitchen. And I love teaching people to cook. And so being the chef was really fun for me that way. One of the longest stints I ever did in the kitchen at any restaurant was a restaurant called Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe. It's in Emeryville, California, right around the corner from Pixar. They're still there, and I was with them for almost 10 years. And one of their owners was Mike Dirnt from Green Day. If anybody's excited about Green Day, which a lot of people seem to be.
You mean the group Green Day?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God, I love their song Good Riddance.
They're great guys, and so they used to be hanging around sometimes, and they always liked the stuff I was doing, and I got to be on the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with that restaurant, and ironically, I was making burgers on the TV. So every once in a while, I'll get a message from someone saying, "Hey, I just saw your episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives," and it's literally from like 2009 or 2010, and it was all burgers. I was like so excited to be on the show and showcase like our really cool menu, and they only wanted burgers. And now here I am 15 years later as a vegan, you know, and it's like anybody who sees that is like, wait, what?
That
And
is hilarious.
it is pretty ironic.
I was thinking in your salad dressing recipes that you already have, like when you say they're low oil with one tablespoon, I mean, somebody could probably just put like a tablespoon of tahini in, don't you think?
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I think probably what I'll start doing on my recipes is offering an oil-free option, you know, so that, because not everybody feels comfortable just making that substitution. Not everybody's comfortable not following a recipe. I mean, one of the things that I talk about with my audience is jazz cooking and, you know, like improvising with what you have. But until people are comfortable with cooking, they don't always feel like they could just jazz cook it, you know? And so maybe adding in like an oil-free substitution, or, you know, like something that would likely go well in the recipe might be a great idea, rather, because I mean, I literally have hundreds of recipes on the internet, and most of them would be really easy to just make oil-free.
yep. What do you have do you like to eat the same thing basically every day, or are you more like novelty and eat different things every day?
Oh, I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I like to make big batches of things and then eat it for a few days, but then I don't necessarily make that same thing in a big batch to do again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't every week eat the same thing, but each week I'll eat the same thing a few times. Does that make sense?
I know what you mean. Do you have but a lot of times people eat like the same breakfast every day, for example.
Oh, breakfast is a tough one for me. Uh, I'm constantly at a battle with myself about breakfast. The battle is between eating it or not eating it. Oftentimes, I don't eat breakfast because I'm so busy in the morning getting my kids off to school, getting them fed, you know, getting my day started. Like, I'm just not the best routine person, which is something I want to change desperately. But um, I haven't changed it yet.
Have
So Oh, so like 3 times a week I'll eat breakfast, and then the other days I wait until lunch.
Yeah, I get it. Have you influenced any friends or family members to become vegan or more vegan, just because of your channel or just your delicious recipes?
Yes, my husband actually went vegan the year after I did. So it took him about a year to do it. And he's a chef as well. So he works in like corporate dining right now. So but we watched the Game Changers, and he kind of saw the light and was like, okay, I'll do it. Let's do it. And so he's been vegan with me. I think he probably dabbles when he's at work somewhat because he has to taste things that he's serving people, but he doesn't like make himself a meal that's not vegan. Like if I'm making food for the kids and I'll ask him if he wants something, he'll say no. He doesn't want to keep eating meat. He wants to be vegan. My mother, she has not gone vegan, but she does send me pictures all the time of the things that she's making that are from my website, and she's tells me I'm influencing her to eat more salads and eat more vegetables and much less. I mean, she's really not eating like meat like she used to. I think she's finally starting to understand, which I think a lot of people are starting to understand, that you don't need the amount of protein that everybody is constantly pushing on you, and that there is protein in vegan food.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, thank you for the work you do. Your channel is amazing. Your recipes are amazing. And I'm so excited and happy you were able to join the bundle.
Me too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me today, and I'm a big fan of yours. I bought your books.
Oh, that's so kind.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, I was really excited. Like I had some people telling me for several months, like you really need to connect with Chef AJ. You really need to connect with Chef AJ. And I did like a presentation locally recently, and they were like, you really need to get in on this, the no oil. You're not using very much oil at all. You can just get rid of it.
Especially because you weren't using very much. It wasn't such a big leap for you, you know?
Yeah. I'm not like the batter and fried kind of vegan. No, I mean no judgment, and that's one of the things that's like big on my channel is I'm not judging and I'm not pushing, but I trying to make it look easy and delicious to everybody to do this, so that at least they'll be bringing some of it into their lives, and then hopefully they'll realize how good they feel.
Well, what could be better than that? Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. If you want to get the bundle from Sarah, just click the link below because this offer will never happen again. And when it's gone, it's gone. Stay tuned for another great show.